Happy New Year, everyone. As we get into the new year and we look back at 2023 and we look forward to 2024, this is often a time for reflection. And as you all know, I'm a professional angler, have been for 2 years now, and I want to reflect on one of the things I feel like truly has taken my fishing to another level and has truly made me the angler I am. And that's my confidence in my fishing line, Seaguar fishing line. I've been using them for most of my life. Seaguar, I remember when I originally stumbled onto Seaguar, picking up spools of Red Label at Walmart, and I was like, this is good stuff. I really just fell in love with the product before I ever got to know the people at Seaguar and started, a sponsorship deal with Seaguar. So I have the ability to talk to you about Seaguar line, not just from a perspective of someone that trusts it for a livelihood and for my job and for me to try to win these big events that I fish, but also from someone that's just had real world passion and love for the line for many years, and also had much success with the line. So in reflection, fishing line is one of the most important tools in fishing, and it is often one of the most overlooked tools in fishing. And it's the only thing that keeps you, the fish, and your rod and reel connected is fishing line. And Seaguar is the originators of fluorocarbon. If you don't know what fluorocarbon is the best no visibility or zero to, like very little to no visibility underwater line on the market. Fluorocarbon is paving the way through fishing. There's not a pro out there that doesn't have a majority of their rods lined up with fluorocarbon on the deck of the boat, because it's the stuff you want to fish with. And Seaguar is the originator of that line. They're the first ones that found fluorocarbon line. They've taken that throughout the years and have just kept perfecting it. And they have different levels of their line, because they know that there's different levels of anglers out there. There's everyone out there from the weekend angler that goes maybe 17 times a year to their local farm pond and tries to catch some fish, to the professional touring angler. There's everything in between, and Seaguar knows that and makes the line for that. So my successes on this line have been truly just consistently catching limits. I had limits every single day of competition this year in Major League Fishing, and I cannot do that without a quality line. I have won 2 Angler of the Year titles, one in 2019 on Seaguar and Invizx, and one, not just Seaguar and Invizx, but like most of my fish catches on Seaguar and Invizx that year. And in 2022, I won the Toyota Series Angler of the Year, and that was mostly on Seaguar Tatsu. So I've used different parts of their product line. I know the advantages and disadvantages of each, and this is where I'm going to share with you right now, so that you know what line you need to get and what's better for you. So let's start off from the very beginning. I started off with Seaguar Red Label. They still make it today. Great line, entry-level line, not going to break the bank. Just, if you are just getting into a fluorocarbon line for the first time, or you're just starting fishing, it's a great place to start. Seaguar Red Label is an awesome line. And then in the past few years, they had Seaguar Basix, which is the same way. It's a entry-level line. Not too expensive, you can $9.99 a spool. Anybody can afford that to get out on the water. You can get 2 or 3 rods spooled up off of one spool. So for $10, you can get out there on the water. So Seaguar Basix, Seaguar Red Label, those lines are their entry-level beginner lines, and that's what I started out on. And I caught a pile of fish on it, and a pile of fish over 8 pounds on those lines. So they're great lines. But what you get for an entry-level line is a little bit different than what you get for the top tier that you pay for lines. And I'm gonna explain the differences, okay? So Red Label is a very abrasion resistant line, very strong line. It's a hardy line, like you can pull some stuff with it. But where Red Label lacks is the ability to cast. It casts good, don't get me wrong. I mean, I can take a 1/2 ounce spinnerbait and I can put it where I want to on Red Label, but when you get to lighter lures and you get to you know, as the line sits on your spool, the amount of memory it gets, that you get to losing those things a little bit when you get the cheaper, well, not really cheaper. I don't want to use the word cheaper because even though it's a lower cost, it's not a lower quality. It's just a different quality. But Seaguar Red Label, for the price, that's what you're getting. You're getting a good casting line, but a great strength and abrasion resistant line. Vice versa with the Basix. I feel like the Basix is kind of like the opposite of that, where you're getting a great casting line, but you're just good in the abrasion resistance and the strength, impact strength side of things. So that's kind of what your give and take is between those two lines. Great lines. If you're trying to get a rod rigged up to go fishing at your local farm pond 25 times this year in 2024, you can buy either one of those lines, Red Label or Basix, and you can get the job done. They are great, phenomenal products. But as my career in fishing started to get more serious, I started to fish bigger tournaments. I started to put more money on the line and started to put more money out of my pocketbook to get into entry fees. I stepped up. I stepped up to the Seaguar Abrazx and the Seaguar Invizx. And what you get with those is, okay, you go from like Basix, you got great casting and good knot strength and good abrasion resistance. You go to excellent casting and good to great abrasion resistance and knot strength. So you get a little bit more. You get a little bit more for your money. You get just a super phenomenal, super soft line when you jump up to the Invizx. Super great casting line. That's what it's known for. It is smooth off the reel. And Abrazx is like the Red Label jump up. It's very abrasion resistant, very strong under pressure. Abrazx, if you're fishing near the coast and you know that you've got a body of water that's just full of barnacles on docks, but you're catching some big fish under docks, the Abrazx will get the job done. It will handle that mess underneath that dock and get those fish out. So that's where you it's excellent in the abrasion resistance properties and strength properties, and it kind of loses a little bit of the casting. It's not excellent on the casting. And that's kind of when you step up, you go up to Invizx, you go up to Abrazx, that's what you're getting. And then the next jump up from that is black box Tatsu, or Tatsu. The Seaguar Tatsu is ridiculously good. Casting and abrasion resistance and strength, knot strength, impact strength, all those properties, it's phenomenal. It's the best of their best for a reason. It is a great line. And I'm fishing for $80,000 plus most of the events I go to, the events I go to at this level. And I put that line on my reels because of that purpose. I don't want one missed fish that I felt like I could have had if I had a little bit more abrasion resistance, or if I had the ability to cast that another 10 feet and hit exactly where that fish busted. that's why I rely on Tatsu and Tatsu, and that is it's actually Tatsu's either like dragon hide or dragon scale. It's designed to be amazing stuff. But that's what you're getting with their fluorocarbons. They are the originator of fluorocarbon, and they have different ones for different purposes. The gold label is their leader line. If you are doing spinning reels where you do braid to fluorocarbon leader, gold label is amazing. I also use Tatsu for leaders because it works great too. It's an amazing line for everything. Tatsu is just, it's the jam. It's the top tier line, and it does just about everything. So gold label, Tatsu, you can use both of those for leader line, and they are designed for that, and they're good for that. So that's what you get when you look at the Seaguar different types of fluorocarbons. They're amazing lines. I depend on them day in, day out, and I know they will do a great job for you, just like they do a great job for me. Stepping away from fluorocarbon, even though they're originators of fluorocarbon, they also make an amazing braid. My win this year, my first BFL win at Bugs Island, or Carr Lake, whatever you want to call it. That tournament, I caught a lot of fish on topwater. I caught a lot of fish on surface baits because they were chasing shad. And I love Seaguar Smackdown 30-pound test to a short, like 8-inch to 10-inch fluorocarbon leader, 20-pound, 25-pound Abrazx fluorocarbon leader. That is a super setup. If you got a good reel, you can bomb it a mile. That's what I used to win that tournament. Won it by almost 5 pounds. So I was catching them, and I lost fish. I had fish that come off right at the boat that I told my co-angler, no, don't get the net. And I know those fish would have helped me, but it was just such a phenomenal event. But those are the lines Seaguar makes. So in reflection, if you are looking to step your game up in 2024, if you are looking to try to fix some things, if you can think back, I lost this fish that would have won this event because my line broke, or I lost this fish because I saw him and I couldn't cast to him good, or whatever. If you just want to be a better angler on the water, really one of the best places to start is your line. Your line can make a huge difference on how you do on the water, how you just feel on the water, and the confidence you have on the water. So check them out. Seaguar line is what I rely on, have been relying on for years, and look forward to relying on them for many more years because they are the deal. So check them out. Seaguar line, you can get them at most every retailer, ACM Tackle Warehouse, just about every tackle store I go into has it. But if you want 10% off, go to acmtackle.com, use my code DH10, and you can get 10% off of Seaguar line there, and you will see a huge difference when you go to their brand, because their fluorocarbon has been around since the beginning, and their fluorocarbon is the best, in my opinion. You try them out and tell me what you think, but Seaguar line will definitely be on my rods in 2024. So have a happy new year, and thank you all for tuning in, and God bless you.